What is up, Buff Nation? Welcome into DNVR Buffs Prime Time. We are presented by Illegal Pete's. Check out any of their 10 Colorado locations for happy hour 3 to 6 p.m. every single day. Jake Schwanitz and my man, Andre Simone.
We're here, baby.
Welcome
we out
back,
here. We are celebrating a Nuggets win. I saw the chats wondering who's running this, Allie or Alyssa. By the
Surprise.
way, Allie, ALLIE. It's the legend. You hear Vasco.
Yeah, welcome.
This is, I think, might be his second to last show before he's off next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, going on a little beach time for Yaya. And yes, Ryan was up late for the Nuggets, but that's not why he's not here. He can always rally.
We can also blame the DNVR Nuggets crew for us being slightly late. I almost went live without a mic.
Rare occasion, so we will forgive them, but they left the studio mid conditions if we're being generous.
Yeah, we'll say that.
Yeah. So, there you go.
But how about those Nuggets, Andre?
Amazing. Amazing. And much like Coach Prime's Buffs, lots of doubters.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of doubters. Lots of people not seeing the path. Lots of haters. Lots of people using the Nuggets to make headlines and get their hot takes off. And yeah, right now is it's a scary time on the interwebs if you had some trash hot take on the Nuggets because you're getting exposed. Non-ball knowers, non-ball watchers especially, whoo, they're getting chopped down like trees right now. Just like it's
savage out there.
Yeah,
right now.
it's a hard time. It's a hard time. You better come correct or you're getting exposed.
Yep.
It's just how it is.
I mean, just no ball. That's all we ask, right?
Man, if you love the game, watch the game.
What a novel concept.
I know, but it's important.
Oh, what is up, chat? Let's talk some Buffs.
You ready for it?
Let's do it. We had a commitment yesterday, a recommitment to the program. The first of its kind under Coach Prime. Chance Main is back.
Making history every single day.
Yep. And another defensive lineman.
Yep, which is huge. They are really stacking up on the edges. He is nice because he's put up, 20, 30 pounds?
He said he played at 240 last year, was listed at 250, and he's weighing in at 270 now. So depending on what you believe, 20 to 30 pounds.
I mean, could really be key in that rotation in a front three, right? Where you kind of need that 5 technique defensive end, and 270 plus is where you're going to need to be.
Yep. Well, they've been getting bigger on the ends too. Really aiming for, when we talked last time you were here, what, it was like 6'2", 6'3", 250?
Yeah.
Is really what they're aiming for. And they've gone bigger than that at times. And Chance Main, I mean, shoot, man, if you're playing at 270, slide him down to the 5.
Right.
A little 4-4-I.
Right.
3 maybe.
Does he have it in him? I mean, this is a player you actually covered last season.
This is a player I covered last season. Played in 12 games, 354 defensive snaps, had 28 total tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, 1 fumble recovery, 1 pass breakup. I think he had half a sack also. Didn't start until the UCLA game, so that was 5 weeks into the season.
Yeah.
I mean, no one really stood out on this defense last year.
Right.
But I'm intrigued by the idea of Chance Main coming in, 20 pounds heavier, new coaching staff, new players around him.
Right.
Why not?
I'm intrigued by all the returning guys that have earned the respect of this new staff and, have warranted being asked and to come back and being re-recruited,
Yeah.
Trevor Woods and Chance Main would be at the top of that list as far as the defensive side goes.
Right.
Am I forgetting anyone?
Probably
no,
not.
right? No.
No. I mean, I think some of the linebackers are still there.
My guy
But that's about
Finiseth's still around.
Your guy Finiseth is still around.
He's like literally a walk-on.
I believe so last year, yeah.
Yeah, so.
And was a freshman, I think, too.
But blanketed Zico at that practice I watched. I knew, man. I knew something was up. And maybe it wasn't so much Finiseth. Maybe it was more of a Zico thing. Huh?
Yeah.
Why am I bringing up old stuff?
I don't know.
You know? Oh, come on. Gotta stay current with the Buffs.
Zico's been a hot topic this week.
I would imagine. Yeah.
We've had plenty of hot topics this
Dude, you guys aren't lacking. That's for sure.
week. We're not lacking
That's
today
for
either.
sure.
Chance Main joined last season by the way of, I guess, JUCO or Incarnate Ward. FCS? Is that just regular transfer portal?
Incarnate Ward is like, they have just landed on the scene. It's all anyone's talking about anymore is Incarnate Ward. They really are in the headlines 24/7, man. I mean, who would have known? It's all anyone recruits anymore is Incarnate Ward. It's crazy.
Apparently the Pac-12, that's all they do. That's
Dude,
where Cam
they're
Ward is
dialed.
from.
Cam Ward, which, boy, is that confusing.
Yeah. Cam Ward from
or
Incarnate Ward.
Yeah, that was a tough
Spelled two different ways.
one. Yeah, exactly. Another one.
Yes. At Incarnate Ward, Chance Main played there from 2019 to technically 2021. 2020, obviously, COVID. That season was moved to the spring of 2021. In 2019, he played in 10 games, 5 starts, 28 tackles, a team high 11.5 tackles for a loss, 2.5 sacks, 5 pass breakups. In 2021, I guess he did not play in 20. So he didn't play in the actual 2021 season. He played in the spring. What are you guys laughing at?
Yeah,
man?
he's just laughing at Connor Johnson saying I'm a goof. Guy and I are really an explosive combination.
You guys are.
We're a problem.
This show is going to be a mess today.
Yeah, it is. It is. We are in trouble, but that's okay.
In the abbreviated 2020 season, he was named third team All Southland Conference, appeared in 5 games. Incarnate Ward probably only played 5 games then, 22 tackles, 4 sacks, led the team with 4 sacks, 4.5 tackles for a loss. So we'll see. We'll see if these new coaches, the new players around him, new weight he's playing at,
Right.
make a difference. But at the very worst, I mean, this guy is now in a somewhat kind of loaded defensive line rotation.
Which is so nice. They need it, man. And it's something I think we were talking about in the early days of Coach Prime is the importance of, especially the trenches, having older guys, having more mature bodies, you know, just like guys who are at a different kind of stage of their physical development. He certainly fits that mold. It's it's a classic move from like BYU, Utah will pull that kind of stuff. Air Force, the service academies in the trenches, especially, you're able to develop and take some more years and start guys who are like closer to 24 than they are like 20.
Right. On the defensive line, did you watch the Bishop Thomas tape I sent you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, Andre.
I mean, I've been hearing nothing but good things, Jake.
It's I'll just let the chat. You guys tell Dre what he missed out on when we watched Bishop Thomas film. How would you describe that tape? I think that's the best way.
I mean, I'm hyped. How many, since we saw each other last like 2 weeks ago on this show, how many edges have they added?
Oh, God. 4?
Yeah.
They all their last commitments have been along the defensive line, all at the same position. Chance Main, Zach Blackwood out of Garden City Community College,
Right.
J.J. Hawkins out of Ole Miss, Arden Walker out of Mizzou. And then before that, they added Savell Smalls. I don't know if that was between the last time you were here.
Yeah, I think that was between, yeah. And
an Old Dominion guy, 2 Old Dominion people since the portals opened.
right.
I mean, they've completely rebuilt the defensive line. Look at, here we go. Dog, Cameron Silman Craig voice, Reggie says. VYBESZN Sports, Bishop Thomas equals dog. Vel just says Bishop MF Thomas. It's amazing.
I might just watch it right now. I may watch it on your next read.
Andre Nichols says, from one Dre to another, that cat can ball. Air Teeth says, Bishop Thomas, my new favorite player. Yeah, you got to get on it.
Dang, man. Is Jordan Dominic going to get the... Is he a surefire starter?
I think so.
Think?
I think so.
It's a lot of competition here.
It's a lot of competition. It's going to be a heavy rotation, I think. I think you will have a starter, but I think you're going to see them going, I don't know, at least 6, maybe 7, 8 guys deep on like end rotations. They got guys that could play.
Yeah, very San Francisco 49er-y of them.
Yes.
Just like hit you in waves.
Mm-hmm.
And athleticism, lots of length.
Yep.
Wow, he's got...
Are you watching now? Oh, he's watching now, chat.
Man,
Yeah.
he's built like a tank. Talk about leverage.
Oh,
My
yeah.
goodness. And some real power there. Wow, how fun. How many
Wolf-
guys to play on in the middle, though?
In the middle of the defensive line?
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not as strong as the...
Right.
the
Yeah, I
ends.
mean, which, yeah. I mean,
Yeah. He'll play in the middle, though. That's a
I know,
big boy.
He looks like it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is exciting.
Lone Wolf, someone asked about
I'll watch
Marshawn
more later.
Nealand. He's not on the roster. Man, if they got Nealand, though, that would have been just
Pretty special, huh?
yeah, a pretty top end
Yeah.
defensive line. All right, Travis Hunter,
We're not done.
our guy.
Yeah, dude. You were like, oh, man, I'm excited to talk about Travis.
Yes.
It's been a minute since we were able to talk about
Well,
him.
we got to talk about Travis a bit yesterday, but yeah, as I was telling you, I feel like we haven't really had a chance to talk about the best player and the superstar on this football team. That's Travis Hunter, of course. We talked about him yesterday, but with all the roster stuff and everything else going on, we kind of got away from our guy.
Yeah.
But 247 Sports, Chance Linton wrote an article, I believe, yesterday morning. Can Travis Hunter crack college football's pantheon of two-way greats? This is basically just kind of obviously highlighting Travis's two-way ability and then just going through kind of down memory lane of a bunch of guys who were just extremely dynamic and two-way players in college football.
Quite the like Slumdog Millionaire list for me. You know, the movie Slumdog Millionaire, he's on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And it's just every question is something that relates specifically to his life.
Right.
That's how this list is to me. I didn't say, I didn't say what happens. For all we know, he gets eliminated on the $500
what the heck?
question. Yeah. But like, a lot of the Pac-12 guys are guys who I was covering for those draft pods during those years. But so yeah, let's get into the list. It's an incredible list.
It's an amazing list. The first guy, too, is fucking Denver legend Champ Bailey.
Yeah, like our childhood.
Yeah. Sean, where you at? Former Georgia cornerback Champ Bailey.
The best comp of all the comps on this list?
Man, I'd probably ideally, if Travis is Champ Bailey, I mean, damn.
Well, no, sure. I mean, it's a lofty comparison, no doubt.
But you mean like play style?
And I'm just saying, like, who actually fits the profile of what Travis we kind of envisioned his role being and his quality being. I think it's more Champ Bailey than Charles Woodson, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, Champ actually played truly both ways, and we're gonna go through this list,
Right,
and there's some
right,
guys who
right.
were two-way players that, we're blurring lines a bit.
Right, exactly.
But Champ Bailey, his junior season in 1998, he registered 52 tackles, 4 TFLs, 3 interceptions, 7 pass breakups at cornerback. And then he led the Bulldogs in receiving yards and touchdown receptions. So 744 yards, 5 TD receptions, 47 receptions, and went on to rush for another 84 yards on 16 carries.
What a phenom.
He was a consensus All-American, won the Bronco Nagurski Trophy as the nation's best defender. He was just inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame last year, too.
Yep. And quite literally a dog. I mean, I think Definitely on the short list of one of the arguable great cornerbacks of all time. And I mean, one of the greatest defenders all time, I think. Just a phenom.
Yeah. Next guy, you kind of already mentioned him, Charles Woodson, though.
Yeah.
Of course, a legend just for winning the Heisman Trophy as a defensive player, but
Right.
also a two-way player.
Incredible.
Also a dynamic and electric punt returner back in the day.
Yep. Big time.
And this is kind of what I'm talking about in terms of like true two-way ability. I mean, he had all the defensive stats, 8 interceptions. This is during 1997. 8 interceptions, but only caught 11 passes for 231 yards.
Right.
3 touchdowns on offense. I mean, he obviously was a weapon on offense, but it was more the return ability and just the pure shutdown ability on defense.
Yeah, man. It's way more the defense and just the team and season they were having. And I mean, some very, very timely plays, on offense and especially on special teams. Yeah, I expect a little more from Travis on the offensive side.
Yep.
With how everything's progressed this offseason,
This one is quite different. These next couple are quite different. Miles Jack. And this guy was, this was a true two-way player.
Yeah.
Didn't really have the rushing numbers, the offensive numbers again. But when he carried the ball, man, oh my God.
It was incredible. And he's doing it as a true freshman with all the kind of hype. And then they have the injuries at running back. And he just fills in. And it was just this couple week to a month stretch of Miles Jack just being like, wow, what can't this guy do? Mm-hmm. It's just insane.
Yep. True freshman season in 2013, started at linebacker and running back. Was named both the Pac-12 Offensive and Defensive Freshman of the Year.
Yeah, wild.
Was second team All Pac-12 at linebacker, 75 tackles, a team high 11 passes broken up at linebacker.
He was
2
insane.
interceptions, 1 he returned for a touchdown. He didn't start playing offense until November, though.
Yeah.
But he only ran the ball. But he ran the ball 6 times for 120 yards and a game-winning touchdown, I believe, in his first performance. Then followed up with a 4-touchdown performance against Washington.
Yep.
Finished the year 38 carries, 267 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Yeah, he was fun.
He was incredible. That season especially, his athleticism was just overwhelming on either side of the ball. It's a shame injuries, hindered him just a bit. It doesn't say in the article. I'm remembering, and maybe that I'm confusing him with Shaq Thompson, who's the next guy we'll get to. That when the switch was made at running back in November, I don't think he was still playing linebacker. I think they just decided, okay, you'll play running back for us in this stretch because we really need you. I can't be wrong. Remember. I just feel like, again, Travis would actually, like Champ Bailey, be playing both sides in multiple games throughout the season.
Yeah, like legitimately working at both, not like, hey, we need an explosive play or we need a touchdown on the 2-yard line here. Get in here.
Or even we're in a major emergency at wide receiver. You're literally one of 3 guys who can play the position right now. So we're switching you to that spot for the next 4 weeks,
Right.
It's it's different.
Shaq Thompson played mostly on the defensive side of the ball. He did he play safety in college?
Yeah.
So he played safety in college, transitioned to linebacker once he got to the NFL, but didn't play running back until his junior season. He was an All-American his junior season, 80 tackles, 2.5 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, 1 pick six, 4 PBUs, 2 forced fumbles, and 3 fumble returns for a touchdown. Had a stint at running back, 372 yards on 33 carries. Also caught 4 passes for 56 yards in a 3-game span. You love that.
Yeah. Again, though, filling in a spot,
Right. What about Chris Gamble? I don't really remember much about him. I was like 8 years old when he was doing his thing.
Yeah, those were some crazy early 2000 Buckeyes teams. And yeah, he really kind of got adopted to the two-way play by the end of the season. As it mentions here, he was just pure big play, man. Just a phenomenal athlete back there. Yeah, quite an interesting one to bring up. Kind of similar to Adoree Jackson, the next guy we'd talk about.
Yep.
Who, I mean, a legit track star.
Yeah.
The guy who was like in the Olympic training for that stuff.
What did he run? Did he run like a 4? Did he get in the 4.2s? The combine?
I think he might have. Never forget Tim Patrick burning him deep in one of those games. And yeah, I mean, that's the thing about him, Miles Jack, and Shaq Thompson. They all came with such fanfare as recruits, similar to Travis Hunter. And I mean, Adoree was just an athlete, so you'd kind of put the ball in his hands as much as you could.
Yep.
Again, more of like, it's that gamble
4.42 is what he ran.
mode of, having him as a deep threat on offense and what have you. But
He was fun. He was also a kick returner.
yeah. Didn't have the size some of these other guys had.
Yeah. Hasn't done much in the NFL, but he was fun in college.
Yeah.
And then finally, Jabril Peppers, one of my favorite football players I've ever watched, was an absolute just beast on defense. Wasn't really a two-way player, though. I mean, they did give him some work, like running the ball and stuff.
Right.
But he was just so dynamic as a returner.
Yes.
That's really where he did his damage. I remember he had one return against Rutgers, broke like 9 tackles. I know it was Rutgers, but damn, he was electric.
And I mean, his versatility on defense really shined through as well. And a guy who picked Michigan in the early days of the Harbaugh era when really the number one recruit in the country wasn't going to Michigan in those days. That's where you see the Travis comp, and just could kind of do a little bit of everything on the football field.
Yep. So there it is. That's what
a list, man.
Chance Litton named the pantheon of two-way players. We'll see if Travis can crack that, huh?
I mean, these are the guys that they really kind of capture your attention and imagination in the college game, man.
Yep.
Those two-way guys are special.
They really are.
They matter a lot. They mean a lot.
And we may have the most special one of them all in Boulder. Well, of course, Champ Bailey, but come on, this is Travis Hunter we're talking about, Yaya. I'm trying to pay some bills here, but I came in unprepared today. I'm sorry.
Man, blame it on the Nuggets only to expose yourself.
Shout out to Shador's number 2.
Let's go.
We had a great. Put it, Andre. Yes.
Let's
yeah.
Oh, man,
We got the apron. Shador's number 2. It's delicious. It goes on just about everything. RK put it on his Cuban sandwich. Even said it was delicious there.
Dang.
Have you tried Shador's number 2 yet, Andre?
I have, and it was delicious, Jake. I was blown away. Now I want it on one of RK's Cuban sandwiches, though.
There you go.
That sounds
you can try
delish.
Shador's
What'd you
number
put
2,
it on, Jake?
chicken thighs.
This guy, man.
Yeah. I love barbecue sauce. I've got like 5 of them in my fridge now. Very excited.
I love that. Love that for us.
Shador's number 2 is a tomato-based, rich, thick, sweet molasses-style barbecue sauce
good,
with tangy
man.
vinegar and fiery heat that finishes with a subtle smoky note. You can get your own order of Shador's number 2. Head on over to plbse.com for a limited time. Make sure you use the code ALLCITY, all caps, all one word, at checkout for 10% off your order of number 2 barbecue. And also shout out to Fubo TV. Over 140 plus live channels, sports shows, movies, and news.
It's that time, man.
That's where I watched the schedule release last night and then straight into the Nuggets game.
Amazing.
Fubo just had my back completely covered yesterday.
Yep.
And they can cover yours too immediately with a 7-day free trial to start watching now. No contract, no cable, no hassle. They also give you 1,000 hours of cloud DVR included at no extra charge. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to www.fubotv.com/DNVR to sign up for 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro.
Boom.
Connor says, are we talking St. Louis Smoky or KC Sweet?
Part of the question. What are you doing?
Yaya runs the show now.
Nice.
Sorry, Connor. I was going to answer your question. I now have to wait.
Sassy Yaya. Yeah. Yeah, stay tuned. We'll answer Connor's question.
Yeah.
Yaya
Sorry,
will
Connor.
allow it then at the right time.
Travis Hunter, again.
Again.
I told you we'd be talking about our guy
Yeah.
today. Signed another NIL deal yesterday.
Love it for us.
Signed it with Waterland Company. As we all know, Travis is quite the fisherman.
Yeah.
He loves it, and he's damn good at it, just like basically everything else he does.
Right. Makes sense.
So Waterland Company provides tinted... Do I give this free ad here, I guess?
I don't know, man. I was wondering about that myself.
Waterland Co...
They're a sunglass company for fishermen and
There you go.
outdoorsmen like Travis Hunter. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's...
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
That's true. That is now his, I believe, 4th NIL deal.
Good.
He has got Celsius, the energy drink, the Michael Strahan brand, Actively Black, So Hoodie, and now he's got Waterland Company. I mean, the
Great.
guy is a trailblazer, man.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. You
And
love
it's all
to
like
see it.
stuff that he loves to do, too.
Yeah. How close do you think that on 3 NIL evaluation of 1.7? How close do you think he is to that?
I truly don't know.
Yeah.
Partly because I question on 3 a little bit.
Yes, no, absolutely. Well, and they're putting that's like based on other like that's more of a hypothetical number based on kind of what their track record of other similar recruits and prospects is.
Exactly.
Right? Then yeah, it's all relative because kids may be offered 1.5 million deals and then they sign for the school and don't get a dime. Florida. So there's those kind of cases. It's all very relative. But yeah, I would say we're maybe halfway there, honestly. I think we're about halfway.
I mean, he's got combined like 1.5 million followers. I think he has like 1.2 just on Instagram alone.
Well, he pumps out that YouTube content from time to time, so able to bring in some ads from that.
They also mentioned that in this article. I mean, remember he said he wouldn't commit until he got 100,000 followers. I mean, the YouTube channel's been popping ever since. He's over 150K now.
Epic Jake Schwanitz video coming off of that. Yep, go check that out.
The good old days.
Yep. Right, Ford as well, Wallow is mentioning, or Bronco. For Travis, as far as his deals. Didn't they have some sort of like car truck deal? It was like him.
Yeah. The same dealership.
Shane Hooks?
Cokes.
Coke. I'm gonna take a time out real quick.
Oh, man.
what
Shane
a
Cokes got
Friday
a car. Jimmy Horn got a car. Tyler Brown got a car. I don't know if Shador got one. I mean, I think Shador has means of transportation.
Great, you stopped there. You were starting to transform into Oprah with all the got a cars. But,
Well, Travis got a car too.
and Travis got a car, yeah. So he's got that in the mix as well, yeah. Yeah, there you go with Phil Long.
Yes,
lots of
exactly.
free ads today. You love to see it, I guess. Might as well. It's a
Welcome to the
Friday.
NIL era.
Yeah, but that's right. Free ads even on our pod all of a sudden.
I sent you a video last night, Dre.
Yes, this was a good one.
We've spared
is a
you
good
guys
one. What a
for a
thing.
while. We're gonna talk about Pac-12 media deal.
They don't want to hear about it?
They just get okay. Here's the thing. I think people want to talk about it. It's just that, I could be better picking what we talk about when it comes to this. And I think we found a way to talk about this while making it look like we're not picking sides with the content we try to share.
Okay.
So
sounds good.
we watched a video of Brett McMurphy, who works for the Action Network,
McMurph,
been very involved as a college football reporter for
all about that action, boss.
forever.
Yep.
But it was very interesting. He talked about
He covered a full gamut. He
in
sure
like
did.
8 minutes too.
Yeah, no, it was nice. I would check it out if I was you.
It was
What stood
365
out to you
sport.
most?
I guess that when he talked about how the Big East went through their final, or I guess when the conference initially was on the verge of disbanding and then eventually did disband,
Yeah,
they were in the middle of a contract negotiation for their media rights.
right.
And he was talking about how ESPN was involved then too. Of course, ESPN talked a lot about them in terms of this Pac-12 deal.
Yep.
But he was saying that ESPN was not really giving them an offer that they liked, the Big East. So the Big East went and found another offer from NBC Sports that was actually lower than what ESPN was trying to give them. But because ESPN had the rights of first refusal,
Right.
they were able to match the lower offer basically and keep the rights.
It was insane. Yeah. And it was actually the new Pac-12 deal that made the Big East turn down that initial richer offer because they saw the Pac-12 get a rich deal and thought they could get a deal as high, and that didn't pan out. Yeah. It was an update that in some ways is a non-update.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really where,
It was some clarification, I feel like. Though.
yeah, it feels like a bit of a Formula One race where we're just setting up
Right.
who's going to be in the front row, who's going to be in that second row, which is going to be the first shoe to drop. Is it Colorado or Arizona? So not so much talking about the four corner schools,
Right.
really the Wildcats and Buffs being the two teams most in the mix to make that immediate move from the Pac to the Big 12, and that being the first of many dominoes to fall. The next big one after one of those two Pac-12 South teams potentially making that jump sounds like would be Oregon and Washington. Then, as the Pac-12 is truly imploding, losing yet another member, making that jump to the Big Ten.
And when he talked about that, he basically said that it sounds like the Big Ten has vetted and had all the questions they had about Oregon and Washington answered when it comes to bringing them in the fold.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of mentioned this to you. I think we talked about this at one point, I don't know, a few months ago. But it feels like the Big Ten is just waiting for their leadership situation to settle down, to get the new commissioner in, because Kevin Warren's going to the Chicago Bears, I think, next month officially, finally. So when they get a new commissioner in the Big Ten, I think that's when they're going to start ramping up their kind of expansion. And at the same time, it sounds like the Pac-12, I mean, they're going to have to make a decision by then, you would think.
I mean, let's be honest.
I mean,
Jake, they had to make a decision 5 months ago.
But you really have to here soon, because
I mean,
after November, there's no more games scheduled for the Pac-12. You have a basketball season, and then literally that's it. Like Pac-12 scheduled stuff.
in key negotiations with big money, timetables, deadlines are always key in really pushing things through, forcing the argument, forcing the two sides to kind of have to settle on, settle and compromise and kind of find a middle ground. What is that deadline, Jake?
For the Pac-12? Dude, I don't know.
It's kind of a wilting flower.
Yeah.
And McMurphy hints to it towards the end, but there's a lot of mistrust being built with the Pac-12 right now.
Well, okay.
It seems like they've blown it as far as selling themselves and marketing themselves. And I think they've kind of straddled that line between advertising yourself and actually lying about the kind of reach you have. And that doesn't bode well either. All this to say, I'm not seeing a path forward for the Pac-12.
Right. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, too, because McMurphy talked about that, how there's a lot of misinformation about the Pac-12 out there, but also from the Pac-12 being thrown out, too.
Yeah,
And
including this ESPN deal
Yes.
of like, is ESPN still in? Are they out? And he mentions Amazon
Yes.
sounding like they're definitely out beyond maybe a game per week, but not the game of the
Right.
week.
Exactly. So
Apple sounding also out.
Yes. So all that just to say, I
Right.
mean, when people get upset when we read Dennis Dodd articles and that we're shilling for the Big 12, it's kind of real that like the Pac-12 is just floundering. They don't know what's going on.
No, they're in massive trouble. I mean, I think a key part of this is what you said earlier is Oregon and Washington have already been vetted by the Big Ten.
Yeah.
They're just waiting to make that jump, man.
Yep.
I think it's inevitable. I think the timing here is key because you don't, you want to act and not have to react to someone else's action.
Right.
The same time, you don't want to rush anything with potential openings that may come down the way.
Mm-hmm.
The Big Ten being the big kind of albatross in all this. Because I think a jump to the Big Ten is the most appealing version of this.
Right. We'll see.
I just don't know, man. I just don't know. And then McMurphy also got into, this ACC TV contract. And if the ACC were able to get out of that the Big Ten would be very interested in going after some of those candidates.
Yep.
I mean, for one, it puts you in the Southeast, which is, that's the SEC's big advantage, is having that stranglehold on that. The best recruiting territory right now. But in general, I think those top teams in the ACC, and we've talked about it before, that is the path to the Big Ten or SEC kind of trumping each other as like the definitive top conference in the land.
Right.
And I think it's the only opening that the other power conferences have in being able to keep up with those top two big dogs. So a Big 12 with who they're adding, the Cincinnatis, the BYUs, the UCFs, what have you. Houston. You add Colorado or maybe the Four Corner schools. And then, I don't know, 1 to 3 of those ACC big dogs. Okay, now you've got about a 20-team league with some real like power brokers in the mix, and a lot of different important recruiting territories nationally. And it's kind of like, okay, let's roll.
Yep.
It'd be a top basketball league in the country. And yeah, it'd probably be third to Big Ten and SEC still, but it wouldn't be like that far behind, So that's the thing is, what is the Big 12's long-term vision? Because at this point, they are clearly a step to a step and a half ahead of the Pac-12.
Yeah.
And that's the key here.
Quite a few steps, maybe, with their deal coming through in October.
Yeah, so...
Because that's really what set the Pac-12 on this trajectory, is the Big 12's deal came through after, of course, USC and UCLA. Leaving.
Yeah, no, both conferences were dealt similar cards in that the big names, the big markets were taken from you.
Right.
But the Big 12 has adjusted and found a path forward with the TV deal, with the 4 teams they've added, with some of the other teams they're flirting with and considering adding to the mix.
Including Colorado.
The Pac-12 still needs to figure out those 3 steps.
Yeah. It's interesting, man. We'll stay tuned. We do have some recruiting stuff to get to before we get to questions.
Yeah. Can we get those thumbs up, please, guys? Don't want
we're only
Yaya
at
and I getting
142.
in trouble here.
Oh, come on. Thumbs up for Yaya and Andre.
How many do we need?
As
Like
many as
200?
possible, Yaya.
I'll make 400 accounts right now.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's do this quickly. Duke Watson, 4-star 2024 cornerback, was committed to Georgia Tech, decommitted.
Boom.
Out of Forsyth, Georgia, 5'11", 170.
Oh my God.
Mary Parsons High School.
They're all 5'11", 170.
They always are.
They always are, guys.
But has ran multiple low 11-second 100-meter dashes. Guy can
Wow,
he can
crazy.
scoop.
Crazy.
So keep an eye on him. Caleb Odom, 2024 4-star tight end, 85th overall prospect in this class, 6th overall tight end, 6'5", 215. Released a top 7 that included Colorado, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, Florida, Miami, Penn State, and Colorado. How about that?
Top 100 kid. Big time recruit right here.
From Carrollton High School in Carrollton, Georgia. Love to see it.
Love when all the updates are from the same region. It's just like, man, who's the coach putting in the work this week?
I know.
Yep.
Speaking of, we can find out if Coach Brew is on the move
Right.
today.
Where in the world is Coach Brew today?
Don't have a Where in the World is Coach Brew update. I apologize.
Wow. Okay.
All right. This is just a handful of offers. Let's do this quickly. 2024 3-star wide receiver Ben Grice out of Atlanta, Georgia, also has been offered. He is a current Wake Forest committed back in May. This year. So just a week ago. But he's been offered by Colorado.
They're going after a lot of guys who are already with like black and gold schools.
Yep.
You know, they're like, we're better.
They already
version
know
of
they
black
look
and
good
gold.
in those colors.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Like even the Mizzou transfer would
Exactly.
fit. Was he 5'11", 170? Just guessing.
No. Come on. Put some respect on our guy, Walker.
Oh, we're having fun.
6'2", 252, Dre. He's a dog. Juan Gaston.
Whoa.
You want to hear another dog?
Please.
Out of Atlanta, Georgia. Juan Gaston Jr., 4-star 2025 offensive tackle, 79th overall prospect, 9th overall tackle, a blue chipper. 2025, 6'7", 335.
Whoa.
This kid is like 16, 17 years old.
Oh my God. Yeah. We got to watch his huddle after this, dude.
Oh, we will for sure.
His highlights must be bonkers.
2024 JUCO cornerback Sione Lalea III plays for the College of San Mateo in San Mateo, California. 2024 JUCO kid being offered. How about that?
So that means what? He's like
he had a great year
entering
last
his
year.
second and final JUCO season this year.
Yes.
Gotcha. What are his stats?
Stats. I tweeted them. Let me find them. 13 tackles, 1 interception, 4 PBUs. He is 6'4", 185. Was a true freshman last year.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like that.
Jamie French has been offered. One of the blue chip and top prospects in the 2025 class. 14th overall player, 4th overall wide receiver.
Wow.
6'1", 175 out of Jacksonville, Florida. You may remember Maurice French with the double F. Played for Pitt and had a great season receiving for them, I believe, in 2019.
Interesting.
It's his younger brother.
Very nice. I mean, want.
Yep. Also out of Atlanta, Georgia, London Merritt. 2025 4-star prospect, edge, 59th overall, 8th overall edge, 6'3", 230, out of Woodward Academy in Atlanta, Georgia. He's been offered. Josiah Abdullah, 2025 athlete out of also Woodward Academy in Atlanta, Georgia, 5'11", 170. No stars, no rankings. He's been offered.
Love the no star, no ranking kids.
Michael McDonough?
McDonough? Come on. I'm just being silly.
Plays for Andrew High School in Illinois. Class 2025, guard and defensive tackle, 6'3", 270. Doesn't even have a 247 sports page yet. It's all from
We
his
went
huddle.
from like 20 kids in Georgia to just Midwest, full-blown Midwest. Trench play? That's amazing.
How about this one,
God, I
Dre?
love this stuff.
You wanna hear the most fun offer of them all?
Absolutely.
Namir Robinson,
Heck yeah.
5'9", 170-pound cornerback out of Skyline High School in Sammamish, Washington.
Nice.
He's listed as a 2023 player. I'm assuming walk-on. His father is one Nate Robinson, 3-time NBA dunk contest champion.
Tweeting this out. He'd play corner like Nate Robb did in his football days.
Yeah, he says he's listed as a corner.
He's I mean, after Coach Prime, it's like AI and Nate Robinson as far as like two sport athletes, you know, that we actually ever even knew as two sport guys. Yeah, I mean, that's just straight hype, you know.
Oh, yeah. Nate Robinson played basketball and football at UW. His father, Jackie Robinson, also played at UW from 1981 to 1985. He was a running back. He was the 1982 Rose Bowl MVP, the 1985 Orange Bowl MVP, and was a draft pick to the Buffalo Bills.
Dang.
It's worth mentioning, though, Namir Robinson also been offered a walk-on offer to Washington, where his father and grandfather played. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, get your questions in now. Also, smash that thumbs up button. Only 185, 186. Let's try to get to at least 250, maybe 300 by the time we end the show.
Really? What have I done? I've just ruined the pod.
Just ruined our show.
Shoot.
God damn it.
Yeah, he hate to see it. Darn. Here he is. No prep Jake. Just really
Please.
bangers.
Why
here.
can't I find this?
Just making sure we had our Shady Ray shades today.
Of course, but we are going to talk about
Good. Yeah.
the American Raptors at Infinity Park.
Let's go.
The American Raptors at Infinity Park feature athletes from all over the sports world, former basketball players, track stars, wrestlers, football players. They're all playing rugby at Infinity Park. I believe they have their season finale coming up. If I could actually ever find this read.
Yep. The season finale, it's coming up soon, right around.
You can also watch all their games on ESPN Plus, and you can get tickets to their matches at AmericanRaptors.com. If you didn't get the ticket you wanted as an elite athlete, check out the opportunities at Infinity Park. Rugby just may be your next ride.
Right.
I didn't find that read that entire time I did that. That was all off the top of the head.
Dang, that's amazing.
I swear to God.
What talent from this kid.
Shout out to Breckenridge Brewery.
Dude just knows ball.
The Avalanche Amber Ale sitting right in front of me.
Let's go.
But it is Nugget season, so find yourself a Mile High City Golden Ale where you can.
Absolutely.
You can check out their beer locator at www.breckbrew.com to find out where you can find that good stuff. Got me a 6-pack of Strawberry Sky last night. Oof. Enjoyed a few while I watched the Nuggets crush.
Official start of summer. Yeah,
it was amazing. Yeah, that beer smacks.
It's a good time. It's a
great time.
Yes.
We love Breckenridge Brewery.
Yeah.
We all do here at DNVR.
They're
ready for questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
12 questions. Andres, kind of different, but he left and came back. Can MLC do the same? He can. And we talked about that yesterday, but a precedent's kind of been set with Chance Main now.
The door's always open.
The door's open.
The door's open. MLC, do the right thing, and come back.
Lawrence, is it me or does EJ Horton look like he could be Trae Young's brother? Look at his commitment picks vids. Let's see, Dre.
Horton. We that might be dangerous.
I mean,
EJ Horton.
What is this website doing? A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
He's kind of got some like Cam Newton's younger brother to his face, I think.
A little bit. Yeah, sure.
Angela, Jake and Dre, did the Nuggets show us what speed can do to teams not from Mile High? CU speed going to be a huge weapon. Do you get that takeaway from the Nuggets? I mean, I think it was a factor for sure.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, running and having a deeper squad is huge. That's one takeaway, Angela. One comparison is like the kind of depth they're building at spots like wide receiver, at spots like cornerback, at spots like, I mean, we're seeing it at safety. We're seeing it on the edges. That's a huge part of taking advantage of that altitude, is coming at you in waves, coming at you with fresher legs, and just being the deeper squad in those pass-heavy positions, you know, where speed is more of a factor. And I mean, I just love that Coach Prime and his staff are talking more about playing at tempo, playing at speed, leaning into that advantage that you should have naturally.
May as well lean into it while you're here, man, while it's on your side. Is that a question that we're answering? Roderick?
Sure, yep.
What's the word on the Houston offensive lineman? Not good.
Cameron gone.
They both committed. I'm trying to remember. I think Trevante Sylvester went to like a G5 school, and then Cameron Johnson went to, was it Mizzou?
Ugh, gross.
Yep, Cameron Johnson went to Mizzou. Trevante Sylvester ended up going to Cal.
Dang,
Yikes.
shots fired saying they're a G5 school.
Well.
Shit.
They did lose to the Buffs last year. I mean, come on.
Right. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Jake.
Amir asking, why can't the Buffs do great with Coach Prime? I believe the specialty positions don't have to be big, but I do agree the defense and offensive line must be big young men. Am I missing anything? I don't think so. I think that's what they've emphasized, too, is getting bigger, stronger in the trenches.
Older?
And older.
Older.
For sure, at least on defense. Connor, we didn't forget about you.
Yeah, here he is. There's our guy, Connor. Back to Shador's number
Let's
2,
go.
baby. We're talking about it. Jake, what would you say? Where does
Connor.
it fall on the St. Louis Smoky to
He wants-
KC Sweet ratio?
Definitely more smoky than KC Sweet. KC Sweet is
More molassesy.
It is molassesy,
Is
but
that
it's
Carolina? What barbecue's most molassesy, Connor?
I don't know where molasses
That more of a
barbecue
Texas
sauce.
barbecue?
I thought Carolina was more vinegar based.
Damn it all! I don't, guys. I grew up in Italy. Okay, like give me a break. I'm not a barbecue expert, you know.
I think it's probably
Should
closer
be.
to St. Louis smoky more than anything. It's got more like spice and that smokiness than sweetness
There you
to
go.
it.
There you go.
It's delicious though.
Yeah, try it. Come on, support our guy.
Our guy Shador. Jay asking, do you think Derek McClendon could be a starter? Why not? He's probably one of the more decorated defensive line transfers coming in. Let me pull up his page real quick. But I believe he's also one of the bigger guys.
Right. That's the key. Is could he be in the rotation on the front 3?
So he stands at 6'4", definitely one of the taller guys. Weighed in at 245 last year.
245.
245.
Uh-huh.
But played in all 13 games last year. 12 starts, 37 tackles, 5 TFLs, 3.5 sacks.
Right.
I mean,
you got it. And I mean,
one of the more proven players for sure.
more proven, more experienced, one of the more mature guys. So in a pinch, he can play up, like, you know, if Felix Anaduko Zoma or like Will McDonald, guys who are like 238, 250, are playing in a front 3 in the Big 12. So can a guy like McClendon.
Yes, for sure. Next question, Yaya from Cheryl. One more running back would be nice, but don't think Demi is coming. And has it been confirmed that Alto is actually visiting this weekend? I think Demi is the NC State running back we had last week. It has not been confirmed that Alton is coming. We just have that 247 Sports report that he has a scheduled visit for this weekend. We'll find out if he actually comes.
Keep your eyes out. Would this be a good weekend to visit with all the graduations and stuff? I guess you're also running out of time because like soon kids are out and campus is different.
Also, it's the sun should be coming out a bit more this weekend, right? Let's hope.
It's been a weird one, man. It's been a weird one. We get so much sun here, but it's been a little gloomy, huh, Yaya?
Just a little.
Yes.
Craig's got a couple questions. Yes, same question. Yep. Where is CU going to be if all schools worth playing moves from the Pac-12? You can't be last. Well, I mean, seems like CU is one of them in Arizona are kind of feeling it, and they get it, and have at least been in contact with the Big 12.
Yeah, absolutely. So. It does seem like CU's been more proactive in moving forward, but you do need to remember, like, the Big 10 is worth staying slightly patient for and seeing what other options are out. And as Jake mentioned, the first shoe to drop for the Big 10 is the new commish coming into power.
Yep. Let me see when that actually happens.
But yeah, like the timing of this is very important.
I think that's why we've kind of hit a lull too.
Yeah.
Well,
everyone's kind of watching each other. It's like in cycling when they're going up the hill, they'll kind of start looking at each other like who's going to try and accelerate and break away from this little group first, because sometimes you'll get burned.
He may have actually okay, so he did start the 17th. I just don't think maybe they haven't named a commissioner. I don't know. Obviously, this is a Pac-12 podcast. I don't follow the Big Ten too much.
Sorry, we don't follow the Big Ten.
Tony Petiti, former president of sports and entertainment of Activision Blizzard, and formerly the chief COO of MLB. So,
well, it's not the greatest credentials.
Yeah, we'll find out there.
Dimitri
asking, who are some names you guys think we have a good chance of getting as far as transfers? I mean, really just the best chances are the guys who have already been here. So the guys from last weekend, like, I don't think it was, maybe it was the weekend before, but Buchanan, the Purdue kid, the cornerback we talked about.
Yeah.
That's one I'd keep an eye on. Who else can I tell you to keep an eye on?
Well, the Houston running back should be one
Alton
to keep
McCaskill,
an eye on, right? Yeah.
One Shiloh Sanders. Sean Washington. Still don't know what's going on with the former Georgia defensive lineman who came and visited a few weekends ago. There's a collection of JUCO kids. Ryan's guy, Jaquay Jackson, I believe, out of Northwestern State.
Yeah.
Sean Stevens. I can't remember where he went to school. He was a cornerback. There's a handful. And, I mean, if it's anything like what happened last week, as soon as we end this show, 247 is going to publish a list of all the visitors visiting this weekend. So
that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Emergency pod if that happens?
No. Cheryl, why is coming back the right thing? For MLC, I think we all just like to see him back in Colorado.
No, he's good. I think that you could see that chemistry building with Shador.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, it's a deep wide receiver room, but it's deep wide receiver rooms all over the country. Stay in a place where he's familiar. He's got a little more height and length than some of the rest of that wide receiver room, so he's able to differentiate himself a little bit there. I'd just be a nice fit, man.
Kind of leads into the next question from Larry. Where would MLC fit in now? The room has been packed. I'm dying.
Yeah, where would he fit now? As Jake gets hit out. Did you run out of water too?
No, I'm good. Okay. It's just I forgot how to drink for
a minute. God, a real Ted Lasso moment for you. Good thing it was in sparkling water.
Where would he fit in? Probably in exactly where he was before he left. One of the top receiving options. Why not?
Yeah, he's on the 2 deep for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like Travis, him, and Weaver.
Jimmy, Weaver.
On the short list of the outside guys. Jimmy's probably more of an inside guy, right?
I think Jimmy that speed can play wherever.
Yeah, good point. And, I mean, Dylan's another option on the inside. I think they'll play more 4 wide without a ton of options at tight end right now,
Dylan was working his receiving skills yesterday too.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said I think his best role is in like a Percy Harvin type of position. So, yeah.
Are we doing this last one?
Have you answered this one yet?
I think we're good. I think we're good.
That came in after the transfers as well.
What teams do you think we lose to this season? Yeah, I was setting us up for failure.
Should we
here.
go through the calendar?
I see question mark. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Wow. Boy, you guys just were told how to crack the code. Just put a question mark at the end of anything. Like, you guys suck, question mark, and it'll be put on air.
Yeah.
We'll dedicate 5 minutes to it. We'll be forced by our producer.
Who has hijacked this show today?
You got me, you get me.
Oregon, SC, Utah, I think are going to be the toughest.
At Oregon is tough.
Yeah.
At Utah, the end of the year is tough too. And
Yeah.
you could possibly, I mean, it'd be weird if Cam Rising came back just for the last game, but I mean, you're assuming he's playing by November.
Yeah.
And by the end of November, he's probably getting back to the level he was close to playing at last year.
And Caleb Williams and Lincoln Riley. I mean,
Of
I think
course.
it's fair to say that's going to be a tough opponent.
But if CU has an offense, I think that a shootout may not be out of the question.
Yeah, true. And I mean, look, in Eugene is not easy, but like, I'll take Shador over Bo Nix any day.
Oh, easily, dude.
So,
Easily.
not impossible. Far from it.
Is that it? Anything else, Yaya? Anything else we have to talk about? Are we allowed to end the show, sir?
Give it about 3 more minutes.
All right, we have to keep going 3 minutes.
he's
Smash that like
telling us.
button while
Yeah.
you're at it.
Yeah, dude.
It was a good week of the show, though. Fun week.
Great week. Great. And never a dull moment, man.
Never.
Never a dull moment.
Trust me, never.
Maddie, I do want to know about this. The backup quarterback market. They tap in that at all?
Not really, man. They had some guys visit, I think, in January, February, but I haven't heard of a quarterback visiting in a while.
It's tough to just be down to be Shador's backup.
Deion Smith commits to BYU. I love that for him. That's my guy.
Not a bad landing spot.
Not a bad landing spot at all.
Not at all.
Happy for him.
Yeah, big time.
You guys are allowed to end the show now.
Okay, we're allowed to end the show, guys.
Smash the like. Have a
Smack
great
the
weekend,
like button on
guys.
the way out.
Yes.
Let's go Buffs. See you Monday.
Let's go Buffs, baby.